Husker Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Scarlet and Cream Husker podcast. I am your host, Brian Knutson, Mr. B. With me, as always, former Husker wide receiver KC, Kenny Cheatham, our recruiting guru, Mr. Matt Sass, and special guest today, former Husker linebacker, Mr. Kareem Sears. Gentlemen, what do you think? I mean, look, the Northwestern game, 56-7. This game is historically close, and Nebraska comes out and just right off the bat, 3 plays, already up 7-0. A bomb to Toure on the very first play.
Should have got picked.
Yeah, it should have, but a hell of an adjustment by Toure. By Toure to come back to that. So, what do you think, guys? Kenny, I mean, it was like living in the 90s again, man.
Well, I told you they were going to give him an ass whooping. I told you that last week. I told you the defense was going to play exceptionally well like they have been playing. I pretty much said it was going to come down to ball possession because they were going to get stops and put the offense in good field position. And the biggest thing is no penalties in the first half.
That was huge.
Think about that.
Huge.
That made all the world of the difference. We did to them what teams have done to us.
Yeah.
Having them make the mistakes that we've been known to make.
Yeah.
That's
the
best thing I've heard.
For special teams this week, I guarantee was, let's have no one talk about us come Sunday.
That'd be great.
No talk of anything. Just that's it. And that's what they did.
No,
I'm pretty sure, like, as probably the special teams coach, he probably got, ripped on a lot, especially in the media, former players. I mean, he probably took it real personal this week and got his stuff together. I mean, as a coach, you have to take it personal when especially your side of the ball is not performing as they should.
Yep. Absolutely. And guys, I mean, offensively, Martinez, 11 of 17 on the night. No picks, 1 touchdown, 3 on the ground. I mean, Martinez is lighting it up ever since the Illinois game. He's the quarterback we've been wanting since his freshman year.
Yeah,
so,
he's right
Matt,
now.
Yeah, Matt, what has Martinez done that has just improved everything and told me to shut the hell up from week 1?
Well, he needs time.
Yeah.
I mean, he finally got it.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much like every website in the country right now that ranks players at certain positions in every conference, they all have Martinez as the best quarterback pretty much in the Big Ten right now.
Wow.
We saw it last night. I mean, when we give him time, he can do anything he wants.
Hey, outperformed Rattler.
Some throws, though. I mean, they guaranteed he wants back. In the first quarter, he missed high for a surefire touchdown. He had him wide open. I can't remember.
Talking about the one that bats in the end zone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was wide and he sailed it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was getting 5, 6, 7 seconds the whole night. I mean,
man,
anyone that's got that amount of time in D1 football, I mean, you're gonna succeed. Just plain and simple.
Kareem, the offensive line's been no secret as to how bad they've been with penalties, and Frost shook things up this week. Do you think maybe Frost has finally come up with the right formula, the right guys that our offensive line's going to start gelling?
I mean, I think a lot of times when you open up the competition and it's known that the competition is open, I mean, there's other guys out there eating. I mean, who are eager, who want to play. And I'm thinking that when they found the true freshman, putting him out there, it's just a different change up. He's a little bit more athletic.
He looks like
when he was down blocking, he was down blocking. I thought, blocking schemes were a lot better. And the whole line, they looked more comfortable out there.
Yeah.
Looked a lot comfortable. And also, with the passing game, I thought, maybe a lot of the routes, the passing concepts were a little bit to what we do, and they were designed to get guys open to where I think before, sometimes I didn't know what we were trying to do.
Wow.
Yeah, so we ended up starting Prochaska for his first career start at left tackle. Newelli, he was playing left guard.
Yeah.
And then we moved Turner Krikorin over to right tackle.
Yeah.
And
that's a hell of a shakeup.
Yeah, and Ben Hart dropped down to the second team.
Yeah, I mean, it was good to see
Wow.
Jurgen. It was good to see Jurgens not have a bad game, and honestly, I think he's having a pretty good year. I think
He has.
that penalty in Oklahoma where he was blocking downfield, that was
That's
he was
bullshit.
doing his
ticky
job.
tack. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it was
bullshit.
very ticky tack,
Yeah.
and I thought besides last week's game, the offsides, I thought he's been having a pretty good year.
Yeah,
Interviewed.
I've really held off bringing this up the last few weeks because I don't want to be that bugaboo guy. So knock on wood, his snaps have been great this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
The high snap.
They have. And Kareem made a good point about the open competition. All of you guys have. Think about it. How many guys have been comfortable this year because it wasn't an open competition?
Yeah.
They've been continuously making the mistakes, and there hasn't been any ramifications for it.
Exactly.
Now, all of a sudden, you're fighting for your job, which is normal procedure in football.
Yeah.
Week in, week out, practice in daily. So with the shakeup, now some guys just lit a fire under their ass and they have to get it done. And you see the results. Now, we don't know how great of a line or good of a line Northwestern's defensive line was and their team overall. But the point is, goes back to that. Now you have momentum because you have Michigan coming up and they're aggressive up front. They have a couple big boys that can bring it.
Yeah.
If they sustain that, it's going to be a problem for Michigan.
Yeah, we've seen an amazing resurgence by the O-line, especially in this Northwestern game. And you're absolutely right, Kareem. Open competition. Like you said, Kenny, you got to go.
Well, and two, one of the gooder things to see is good is not even a word, but one of the better things to see is when, let's say the Northwestern D-line wasn't how they have been. It's good to see us not playing down the competition.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's good. I mean, because to me, when you're obviously better, you're supposed to dominate, and they dominated how they were supposed to dominate.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, this was definitely a game where we put the cleats on their throat and choked them out.
Yeah, we flexed right away and didn't let go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just pedal to the metal and just go, make them stop us. I love to see it.
Hey,
we should have seen this a lot sooner.
Kenny, your guy, man, your position, Xavier Betts, on an option play, takes it, what was it, 86 yards or something?
83, I think.
Dude, this guy's speed is unreal. Did you see him just pulling away?
Yeah, he ran out of gas at about the other 40. but the momentum took him in there. But that was a good play, man. I mean, let's look at the offensive side of the ball as a whole. One, we went vertical.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys know that's my thing with this offense. Vertical. Horizontal, no.
Yeah.
So attacking that way off the jump made a big difference.
Huge.
In regards to Betts, what have I said? Play the kid.
Get him the ball.
Playing kids, and Kareem and can attest to this, playing kids and what you think how a kid performed in practice or what you may have perceived as a coach is all subjective. It's all subjective. I know because I dealt with that. I'm not a rah-rah guy. I was about my business. I'm not the guy that's going to hoop and holler.
Yeah.
But when you come to film, when it came to film, this is what you saw. Click, click. Okay. I didn't have to be coached.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But attitude was subjective because I would be like, I would listen, I would hear something, I would look, I would do it. And that was it. So if a guy's looking smoother than the guy that's looking like he's really moving to do it, that's not his fault. So if he's been playing at the level he's playing in now, but hey, we want to give these other guys a chance to look and see what they can do. How are you affecting your team? And I told you, Ryan, they should play him. Once you play a player, confidence goes through the roof.
Yep.
Once you're sitting the guy and the guy's sitting there saying, why am I not playing? And what's going on? But it's not because of practice or performance. It's because maybe the coach just doesn't like the way you smile.
Yeah.
It can affect you. Now look how he's been performing.
Major.
He's pretty much become our second dog at receiver and moved Manning to third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a primary target. One of them after Toure. Look at it.
Yeah, he's a big kid too. It's a big target.
Yeah, I mean, he has been hurt too. I mean, he has dealt with a little bit of injuries, but yeah, I couldn't be happier for him. I mean, that 80-yard run, that was so smooth.
Well, I mean, it's just, if you if you have playmakers, it doesn't mean you have to get them the ball the entire game. But if you have a couple kids, to me, with a couple wiggle in their hips, you got to give them the ball or find a way to give them the ball. I mean, reverse, just the option play. I mean, they don't have to be crazy design plays, but, somehow get the kid the ball in his hands and let's see what they can do.
Yeah. Put the ball in their hands. That's what we've done for the last 2 years prior to this. We had a playmaker, he left, but what was the goal? Put the ball in his hands.
Yep.
Let him do what he does. Do what he do. However you want to say it. But give the kids the ball and let them go.
Hey, speaking of giving kids the ball and letting them go, Jacques Yant, dude, running back, 124 yards on the ground. I mean, Ramir Johnson had a great game too. He had 74, but man, this kid's 245 pounds. And man, the first big run he had, that stiff arm, that got him another 15, 20 yards.
Yeah.
So where's this kid been?
Man, I thought the kid, he came out and did what he got the ball in his hands. And again, it's just open up the competition, hey, this, he might do something with the ball in his hands and giving guys a chance, and as a coach, I've been like that myself, to where you get one track mind with, one guy, and there might be a guy, you might not think is ready until you put him out there. You have no idea he's ready until you put him out there.
That's what I was thinking too.
Let's go prime example to what we saw in Frost's first year with that. I'm not going to say this guy was world beat all of a sudden, but he played well. I actually thought he played well in the spring game, but then when I saw the Illinois game, I'm like, is this him on the defensive line? The other guy that wears 0 on the defensive line.
Yeah.
Like, did he switch sides of the ball?
Pain.
But anyway, let's go back to figuring it out. If you think of Scott's first year, they were trying to figure it out. Then you figured it out. Ziggy is the guy.
Yeah.
And what happened with that after that? Because it was up and down. He's in, he's out, he's in, he's out. Then once he started playing, and then he took off.
Yep.
Yeah.
What happened to his confidence? Okay. I always talk about confidence, right? Once he became the guy, he had a hell of a season.
Yes,
so, I mean, we're kind of 6 game in now, but we have momentum. Let's keep going with it. Ramir's running better because he has momentum. He's been playing.
Yep.
His confidence is skyrocketing. He went from getting 3-4 plays the first couple games to now pretty much being a guy.
And they're developing chemistry.
Right.
Boy, and I think it gives us a good two-headed monster too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean,
a good two-headed monster.
Thunder and lightning.
You need a thunder and you need a lightning.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's what those two guys give us. I mean, Ramir, he's a block away on almost every play of taking to the
Yeah.
and he's that fast. It's just what it is. And Yacht, dude, I don't want to try and tackle that dude.
No.
He's one of the best or biggest running backs in all of college football. I mean, that's a big boy.
Yeah.
And he's solid too. He's solid.
Very solid. Yeah. Very solid.
When he did that stiff arm, I was like, there ain't no way that dude's bringing him down.
All right,
it was pleasant.
So the running back's doing good, obviously. Adrian, hell of a game. Receivers, I mean, I think Adrian spread around like 11 different guys.
Mm-hmm.
So offensively, 56 points. I mean, there's nothing to complain about. Penalties down, turnovers non-existent. All right, here it is.
Pretty clean game.
The black shirts, guys. I mean, really, holy hell. JoJo Doman, the sack in the first quarter, it just, that lit a fire under my ass. Too bad it didn't keep me awake. But, and then not to mention, I got to see the highlight when Northwestern got down to the goal line and the guys coming in. I believe one of them was Daniels, forcing the fumble, getting the turnover at the goal line. I mean, those two came through unabated.
I think it was 97. Bowman in 97. What's the big 97 name?
Oh God.
Is it Thompson?
Dante?
Yeah, that was huge. That was huge.
That was huge.
Those guys were back there before the quarterback could really hand the ball off.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when you can do that, when you can attack the mesh point and make stuff like that happen, I mean, like that's just good. That's just good football, and that was a good call.
And it's debilitating. It's debilitating to the other team.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to score. We're right here. Then first they stopped them on the run before where they didn't get it over the line, and then the next play you do that. That was debilitating. I mean, like I've said, Brian, like I've said, Matt, I'm sure you watched the show. The defense have been playing lights out. And I told you last week, Brian, that they needed to come into this game with a pissy attitude and some nastiness because of the way they've been putting this team in position, and we failed to capitalize on it, has been huge. So they came in with some nastiness. It was some big hits out there. We got to the quarterback, which I said we've been needing to do.
Yes.
We got some hits on the quarterback. Got some hit, had them rattled. And they played well. I mean, they gave up the touchdown. I think the one touchdown
in the first
quarter.
Yeah,
21-7.
Yeah, he caught the 2 long passes and then he scored. But after that, they pretty much shut them out.
Yeah.
And then there was a play I got to see before I don't know what do you want to call it. Sandman got a hold of me and put me out for the night. But Cam Taylor-Britt, the swing pass that they had out there, and he fights through his block and gets the tackle. I think it was a 4-yard loss.
Shut that down.
Don't play that any better. That's exactly how you're coached.
No, yeah, he played when thinking about Cam Britt, he plays a corner position, kind of like how he was playing safety. Like he plays it, but yet he can cover. And I don't see too many teams doing that anymore. I mean, because it shuts down. But team, even with we call it a key and go. I haven't seen that action out there, and he doesn't bite on it.
No, I love it. The way that defense was flying around. I mean, from what I got to see on some highlights, my God, it was nonstop, start to finish, just lights out. They were not gonna allow this game to come down to who's got the ball last.
Yeah, earlier in the year I was pretty critical. I coached D-line, and I was pretty critical at the beginning of the year, even last year, because I thought at times we weren't getting off blocks. And just making a play at the point of attack. But this year, I've been watching Nelson. The kid has improved tremendously. I mean, he is in there doing everything. He covered. I mean, he even drops back in coverage. He wrong arms pulls. I mean, he does everything correctly as a defensive end. I mean, and
he's always around. He's always
around, and that's great.
It's night and day different than last year. Last year he was just trying to possibly even do too much. Now he's just assignment sound. Yeah, this is my job. This is what I'm gonna do. And since he's been doing that, it's just night and day. I mean, this is a superstar. I mean, this kid, he has improved more than anyone.
And you can tell those boys on the defensive side of the ball in the last year. I think they took advantage of the COVID year. Some of those boys, like Luke Reimer, he completely changed his body. But he looks totally different than the way he looked last year. He is a completely different kid. Yeah. And that right there shows, he wanted to work. That's how much it meant to him. And and every one of them, Ben Stilley, he's still a dominant force in there. Yeah. 93, I can't remember his name, but early in the year I thought he was he wasn't taking on double teams pretty good, but this year the last few games he can't be moved. No. And that's great to see. Yes. Yeah. I mean, and that helps your linebackers run. Heinrich.
It also helps
that helps those guys run.
Same size as Fletcher Cox.
Yeah.
Defensive lineman.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He's like 320 pounds, man. I mean, good luck moving him.
You can tell just by looking at him how big he is. He's got his own zip code.
Sometimes guys that big, because I had a big boy about not his size last year, but he was a big kid. Sometimes those guys try to do too much, and I think last year, early in the year, he was trying to do too much. Bro, you're a plugger. plug
Yeah.
it, and that's what he's
he
been
had a
doing the
hard time
last
staying on the
3
field
games.
too, though, because of his weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had too much weight to where he was only probably a 3 or 4 play guy. And we had to substitute, everything like that. Now you're seeing him where he's cut weight, he's keeping himself in shape and stuff like that. Now he's good for 8, 9, 10 plays in a row.
Yeah.
And
That makes a
helps.
difference. That makes a difference. When they're getting that
It's a huge
pressure,
difference.
it frees up your backers to be more active and to do more things defensively. You want to keep everyone from that second level. And everyone knows if your backers and safeties are having 10 and 12, 13, 14 tackles down the field, that means you're not plugging the holes well enough to stop.
Yeah, what was Northwestern? I mean, what they finished rushing yesterday?
37 yards.
37 yards. I mean, Damian Daniels, he has one job. It's not about tackles.
Right.
It's about take away the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, and
he's
even
everything.
He's even on passing downs, and that's and like when you leave a guy that big on passing downs, his pass rush isn't it doesn't have to be great, but he's eating up 2 guys, and that creates one-on-ones for your other 3 guys.
So I was going to ask who led in tackles, but I already know the answer. I know it was Doman.
Yes,
JoJo.
it was.
Yeah, Doman had 9 tackles. I mean,
8 solo.
That kid's a freak, man. Awesome. That kid's
he's a football player.
He's just a football player. That's the only thing that scares me, though, is that after he graduates and goes, I mean, he's going to get drafted. But
yes.
Where do they start him?
Like to me, like he's a hybrid guy.
Yeah.
He's throwing some weight on him. Like he can be like Gregory is for Philly.
Yeah, maybe. So the one player that I will give the most shout out to was Nick Heinrich.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought he had a great game.
It was his best game he's had as a Husker.
Yeah, he had a great game.
He was everywhere.
He had a great game.
I just applaud him. He played amazing yesterday.
Yeah.
Kenny, with you being a former wide receiver, you had to go up against defensive backs all the time. And as far as passing goes, our secondary only allowed, 256 yards through the air. I mean, that's pretty damn good in my opinion. In a full game, not to mention we had a bunch of backups in by the 3rd and 4th quarter. So, I mean, what do you think, Kenny? Does this secondary really have what it takes to carry us the rest of the way?
I think so. Like I told you guys from the jump, I thought the strongest part of the defense was going to be the secondary. Yes, they were all back. We only lost Decap.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now Newsom's in that spot. Cam Taylor-Britt's there at the corner. I think he's an aggressive corner hybrid safety, but coming from the safety position. I like my buddy number 9 was that dispute. The what you call it? The targeter. He stopped it this year. Made it huge. That was his thing, targeting almost every game.
And Deontay. I mean, I can't say enough about Deontay. I mean,
is that number 8? Is that number 8? Yeah. Then I like Farmer and some of the other guys coming off the bench. But I think if our secondary can hold up and stop teams from getting down the field and getting long catches, our linebackers are active enough. If our defensive line continues to get that upfront pressure and the clog those holes to make tackles.
Yeah.
So it's our defense as a whole is legit. Like I told you, that's why they came back. That's why all those guys came back, I think, except for one. They had something to prove because I think they can see we're a good unit.
Yeah.
We're losing it on the other side because of the turnovers and things like this.
Yeah, beating ourselves.
Yeah, and you saw it even against Illinois. You were like, okay, but then we shot ourselves in the foot. But I think if our secondary continues to stand up and hold up like they have, we'll be fine. They picked on Newsom a little bit this game, but he bounced back a little bit. But he's going to be the one they target because the other guys got all the hype. So we're going to try this guy. We've seen it.
And Newsom, I think he's pretty solid. I mean, I thought he's, a couple catches, but I think that kid he was guarding, because he's pretty good. That kid was making
shifty.
He was making some good catches.
He had a little bit in it.
It's style of defense we run too. I mean, we do play a bend but don't break defense. I mean, don't give anything over the top. I mean, Michigan coming in this week, they're going to try and take us over the top.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I mean, I thought he was solid.
But
Mhm.
that's what that was OU's game plan. Like that's what they do. They are a big play offense, and I think we eliminated a lot of the big plays, and we made them like dink and dunk down the field. So that game right there gives me hope that we can do the same thing to Michigan.
Blueprint for the Michigan game. Absolutely.
Yep. With Oklahoma, has anyone noticed every defense they play now?
Everybody's taking everybody.
We kind of like you said, Kenny. We set the blueprint for everybody.
Yeah.
As a defensive coordinator, that makes you so mad because that's happened to me a few times. Like we've came up with some great stuff, and other teams have had a couple more athletes than us, and then the next you start to watch next week's opponent. You're like, hey man, that's my stuff.
Yeah.
But still, man, I mean, there's a blueprint to beat every team. And
Yes.
they're pretty much
Football's a copycat sport.
Take away their big play offense. I mean, make Rattler look real fucking dumb trying to dink and doink the ball all day long.
Yeah.
It worked.
Well, I guess we got to say this, guys. Have we just witnessed completely? These players are finally all bought into what Frost has been selling them.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and also I think the coaches have gotten. I mean, also the games we've lost have been coaching errors and player errors at the same time. So I think when you evaluate yourself as a coach, and start doing some other things, and maybe ask your players, hey, what do you guys like? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Can you do this? And maybe that's what's going on, behind the scenes, that they're, hey, asking some players like, are you comfortable doing this? And sometimes, again, that's what it is. Players been comfortable, and then when they get the ball in their hands, things happen.
What do you think, Kenny? Have we finally scratched the surface of Frost's offense and what he's been wanting to implement since coming to Nebraska?
Hopefully. I say that optimistically because it's been stalled and halted because of penalties.
Yeah.
This is what we've been trying to do, but it's been stalled, and it's been penalties.
Yep.
And it's been O-line play that has halted this offense from being able to do what it's possibly capable of doing. The holding, the false starts, the holding, the false starts. This has been a continuous.
It's been like 5 years.
4 years.
Yep.
You get the games in which they don't do it, and you can see the offense do what it does. I mean, so it's like I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I hope the stop it last week and him being in the O-line room made a difference. Obviously, it looked like it. The shake up, the changes. I mean, but then it comes back to player accountability. Kareem can attest to this. Our thing was accountability. We were going to hold each other accountable respectfully about what you were doing.
Yeah.
It was, I'm going to be accountable. If I got that hold, like I've said, I did it. It was on me. I have to correct it.
Yep.
I can't do this because I don't want to put our team in position because of something I did. No one plays a perfect football game, but minimize it. We haven't minimized it. So we should, we've done it so much that games like this and the ones where we don't have it shouldn't be anomalies.
Exactly.
It should be the norm.
Should be routine. This should be like, routine stuff.
Second nature.
It's why you practice.
Yeah. Look,
like, my son and I were watching the game last night. He was born in Nebraska. He lives here in Oklahoma. He was like, Dad, this is what I grew up watching.
Yeah,
like domination.
Like.
Yeah,
of a team. He's 21 years old, and he's like, Dad, this is what it's supposed to be like.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm like, it felt good, but but I want to see it next week.
Yes.
Yeah,
you got to keep it going.
I want to see it next week.
I mean, it's no secret. Northwestern's not exactly a juggernaut.
Yeah.
Michigan, though, They're
not playing around.
Yeah.
good. They're good, and their goal is to come into Lincoln next week and
dominate.
annihilate us.
Yeah.
Harbaugh don't mess around, man. I mean, he finds your weakness and he goes right after it, digs at it, and just the entire game. He doesn't care. So we have to be ready. Good luck running the ball on us, though. You've already seen that. I mean, we're gonna take away their entire running game.
And you think
Now,
some of
can
these
they
players
throw the ball on? Because they're gonna try.
You think some of these players don't remember the last time they played Michigan too?
But when they punked them,
oh
Yeah.
man,
When
when that game was when that game was over at halftime.
Yeah, our first
Yeah,
blowout as a
yeah.
Husker.
Yep.
Yeah, that was bad.
Some of these
And
players
then
going to remember
punked
that.
them up there in Ann Arbor.
Yep.
He said,
Yeah.
"This will never happen again while I'm here."
Yeah.
Well, it
Yeah.
has for us, but
Yeah.
here's the revenge because we're
Yeah.
good enough. We are good enough to take down Michigan.
Yes.
Defensively, our offense has to continue performing just like we did yesterday. And if we do, we will beat Michigan.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, and it's just like the penalties, like you can't have a big play and then have penalties knock it back. Like, and that's been our milieu for so long, you know. And again, though, and with that said, that also, a young quarterback who's as good as Martinez trying to make extra things happen outside the scheme. And I think sometimes that's what we see a lot, and he takes a lot of flack for that. But he's trying to make things happen. He's trying to win.
Exactly.
Yeah. He wasn't running for his life yesterday.
No.
And that
makes me very happy because there's a reason why he's hurt all the time.
And
he's always running for his life.
Yeah, and I was glad to see
more
more quarterback run. And more if you want to run the quarterback, I like it in the red zone goal line, not so much in the middle of the field. And there wasn't as much quarterback run in the middle of the field or throughout the game. But red zone, I'm okay with that. But because he was last games he was taking a beating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was obvious. It was obvious. All
I
right,
mean, he was sacked 9 times?
Yeah, I think. And hurried like 16.
Yeah, it was something obnoxious and ridiculous.
It was
9 or 12, but 12 sounds really high. So I'm pretty sure I remember seeing it as 9.
I think it was rushed like 17 times. He was rushed back there or something. Yeah. And I think the sacks were about 7. It was something where you say, "What the hell?"
Martinez was clean the whole day yesterday. He never got sacked once. How many times was he pressured? Maybe 5 times.
I think maybe on that 4th down because I thought he could have threw it to the stop on the other side, but he was pressured front side, and so he didn't even look that way. But that that was
one guy that was by the sideline. You talking about the one that was open by the sideline? Yeah, I saw that.
Yep.
Well,
but other than that, that was his only rush throw of the night.
They don't even have to wash his jersey.
No.
He's clean.
No, that thing was probably just set up in his locker right after the game, and just it'll be ready for Michigan.
What the hell are you doing? Giving me
keep
that jersey?
Keep the good mojo on it. Keep that good mojo on it. Don't wash it.
Don't wash that.
Well, we'll close on this topic. It was no secret. Kenny, me and you talked about it for the preview for this game. A lot of respect for Pat Fitzgerald. A lot. Out of all Big Ten coaches, matter of fact, maybe even in the country, besides our own coach, I probably respect him the most. The man runs a clean program as best he can. You don't ever hear extracurricular shit in the media about him.
No, you don't.
He's a class act, runs a great program. And I think what we saw was a great level of respect between him and Scott. Because come to find out, when Scott started putting in his second, third stringers, Fitzgerald said, "You know what? This is over. Let's give some of our younger guys a shot." He started subbing in younger players, his second and third stringers. Kenny, with Pat Fitzgerald, former player at Northwestern, he's well respected there. What did you see out of the guy? He's just a class act, in my opinion.
I mean, it's not much I can say about him. I mean, as far as that, I think he's an excellent coach. I think his program, like we said, I think he gets football players. Northwestern isn't a draw. He gets kids who want to come there, and he just gets football players. Yep. And he's able to work with guys and kids that are just football players. And I think he has a respect for the game. I think he's one of the few coaches who respects every team that he plays.
Yeah.
Some people have vitriol versus other teams, but I think he's that one guy that has respect for every team that he's played. And I think he teaches and coaches his kids to play the right way. Yeah. So, I mean, the respect between him and Frost, I think they might actually be buddies. I think they might
look
be
like
friends.
it.
You saw it, and hey, I can't say anything about the guy other than I think he's a good coach, and I love the way he approaches the game and teaches and runs his program.
Yeah, what do you see out of him, Matt? We've watched Fitzgerald for years now since he's been in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine yesterday. Without the recruiting limitations that Northwestern has, because that's pretty much like the Stanford of the Midwest.
Yeah, they're an academic school.
Yeah, you have to have great grades even for a football player to get in there. You take away those standards. He might have a Big Ten title under his belt.
Maybe even playing for a national.
He is a very, very good coach. He understands defense. He played in the league.
Yep.
It's no secret. He is a really good coach. And you always go back to how the players feel about playing for their coaches.
Yep.
You will never find one player that played for him that doesn't respect him or give him props, everything like that. And that right there to me is always the highest grade a coach can get.
Yep. Absolutely.
Now, Kareem, you're a coach. Losing is never fun, ever. But in my opinion, if we're going to lose to a coach, it's going to be Fitzy. Now, you as a coach, obviously losing sucks. But do you have that certain coach that you just respect like Fitzgerald is, that if you lose, you get it? You kind of get over it a little quicker?
Yeah. I there's that, as coaching as long as I have, in Oklahoma, there are a few guys who I cannot stand losing to. But then there are guys, who, and even guys on their staff, I respect another guy's craft. And even there, even some of the guys who I don't like, I respect what they do.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, when it comes to losing, you have to take it for what it is. The other team was better maybe that night, and you got to move on. And I think sometimes anymore, it seems like coaching, some guys hold grudges.
Oh yeah.
Against each other. And if something bad happens, if you get other teams out there outright trying to hurt one of your kids, or he's purposely trying to run up the score on you,
yes.
That's different, but I try not to have I try to shake hands. I try to do all the proper stuff. I think only one time in my career that I haven't shook hands with a coach.
Damn.
Staff. And, that was a couple years ago. But again, when I look at it myself, I still should have done it because I tell my boys not to do it.
Yeah. They always the practice what you preach thing.
Yeah. And I think being man enough with your players too. And I think a lot of times in coaching anymore, that's got out. Guys, you can't be honest with your players. Next day, meetings, I was the guys, hey, I was wrong. I should have went over, shook their hands. I come from a school to where, you win, lose by the code.
Yeah.
And, and I forgot the code that night. And I apologize to my boys, and it's never happened.
Emotions, man. Football's a very emotional sport.
Yeah,
it is, man. We see it.
It's a raw sport.
Emotional, they wouldn't have any fans.
Yeah.
So
look at Husker Nation. Husker Nation is just rabid. We're ridiculous.
Last night, though.
Yes. And all right. Last thing I'll bring up before we close it out. Guys, the new tradition between third and fourth quarter, the thunderstruck with the lights.
Oh man, that's live.
Oh my!
I talked to a couple people that were at the game, so they put fire towers in all four corners of the field.
Holy hell!
From everything I heard from everyone, it's like going to a Chiefs game or something like that. When they do their fire before the game, it doesn't matter where you're sitting. You can feel the heat.
Oh,
that's dope.
I haven't been to a night game since we were in the Big 12.
Oh, wow.
So I need to get back up to a night game. I gotta see that third and fourth quarter excitement.
I saw that. I'm like, yes.
My wife was
out of the stadium.
My wife was watching the game
on
her phone and watching the game, and she saw that. She was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." You know,
Kenny,
she
so cool.
could care less about football.
Kenny,
we actually started this 2 years ago. They added the fire and the Thunderstruck in last night.
Good.
Yeah, I was like,
we've
wow.
never done that.
I was like, what the hell is this? I just saw the red lights and the lights flashing. I'm like,
I gotta say, Kenny, what would it have been like if you guys would have had that? Yeah, you and Kareem.
We went nuts.
Look, man. Let me say this. This is God honest truth. First of all, when I saw the new stadium for that first time when I went to that game 2 years ago, I cried. Honestly, I teared up because I was like, I mean, I'm doing this because this is how I was. I was literally like,
right.
Because that was my first time seeing it and seeing the east side as high and the west side. And I mean, if we had that, oh, bruh, let me say something.
Man. Like, oh, man.
People might not have scored. If
we had the pyro, man, the pyros, the smoke. I mean, like,
people
man, like,
may not have scored.
I mean,
and we might have averaged 80 a game.
Yeah.
I mean, because just
we were already hyping up as it was. Like, we were already hyping up as it was.
Man, when I saw that, I said, this is literally a cathedral.
Yeah.
This is a cathedral.
Exactly. But this is the reason why I like it so much. Is because, like, last week, playing Michigan State, going from the third to fourth quarter, they do that in between the game. Dude, our fucking players are going to come out with their hair on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, it pumps you up. I mean, it's also demoralizing to the other team. I mean, Wisconsin's not stupid. They do the jump around for a reason.
Yeah, like, you know, I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it. You know,
Right. I mean, I've watched that video probably on YouTube of that probably 8 times this morning already. I think I wasn't pumped up for football today.
Oh, yeah.
Gives me goosebumps. But Kenny, I completely understand what you're talking about. The first time I see the stadium in a while, and I lived in Florida for a long time. When I finally moved back, went to my first game, and man, I mean, I had tears.
Yeah. I'm trying, because, you know, we always play it, like, you know, I'm you know, coaching football, so it's hard for me to get back to a game. But next year, like, I'm like, it's going to be my mission to get back to a game. I want to go to a night game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when we played, it was like 11 a.m.
Yeah.
We were doing by 2 every day, you know, every Saturday.
A live play during the Chiefs game, one of the players just bounced the football off the ref's head.
No way.
So, yeah, no,
I love that.
Serious. He literally, like, while running, bounced it off his head and caught it again. Yeah.
I
just saw that.
I'm gonna have to check it out now. Damn it.
Oh my God.
That's hilarious. I just saw it.
All right, we'll close it out here. Guys, great win by the Huskers. Dominant showing both sides of the ball. Great coaching, great schemes all around. I mean,
it was a good all-around game.
Yeah, you get 56-7. I mean, really not much bad you could say, I suppose.
No.
All right.
And again, we're not talking about special teams.
Yeah. Didn't even have to bring it up.
There's no bad. It's just don't talk about it.
We had an 80-yard punt, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
That 84-yard punt.
Oh.
Dude, that was the biggest, like, hurrah from the crowd.
That was hilarious, wasn't it?
Oh my God.
You can't imagine why.
Yeah.
You just, even when Culp hits his extra points now, the crowd kind of cheers a little louder.
It was great.
Yeah.
So I guess. All right. Well, here we go. End of the show. As we always do, we got to let everybody know where to find you guys. So, Matt, where do we find you on social media?
On Twitter, I'm Herbie Husker 15. So I had to do it. I got a couple other things too. You got 9 Point Husker. But Herbie Husker 15, that's the best place to find me. So.
All right, Kenny, where you got yourself at as usual?
I'm on Twitter, Husker Nupe, HuskerNupe 1911, and on Instagram, the same handle.
Awesome. Kareem, our special guest for today. Where do we find you, sir?
You can find me on Instagram as Darth Remus the Honorable, Facebook just under my Kareem Sears, TikTok Big Remus, Twitter you can find me under Big Remus. It's pretty much all my handles. I'm always around.
Yeah, you guys got to check out his TikTok, dude. It's some hilarious shit, man. It really is, dude.
I'll look you up after we get off.
Yeah,
I'm on TikTok a little bit,
when you
so.
do, check out one of the most recent ones with a mysterious liquid on a classroom chair. It's you get a kick out of that one, trust me. All right, guys. Hey, you know where to find me at Knutson_Brian on Twitter. Of course, you can find us at the Scarlet Cream on Twitter. We have a Facebook page, the Scarlet and Cream Husker podcast page. Check it out. We really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. Find us on YouTube, of course. Kenny, what the hell is that?
My computer Rona mask. It's for the Rona.
Dude, it's never a dull moment on this show. I swear to God. All right, guys, that's pretty much how it works. You know where to find it. Of course, Spinoff Pod on Instagram, of course. And, man, we appreciate everything, guys. Hell of a game, Husker Nation. We appreciate you checking us out, showing us love. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Leave us a comment. We'll comment back. I mean, yeah, we're pretty easy to reach. So we'll close it out here. Great win by the Huskers. On to Michigan next week. We'll get to that soon enough. So you can find us at the Scarlet Cream. And as always, go Big Red.
EBR. Woo. Good seeing you, Ken C.
Right on, brother.
And we'll always stir a corn husker.